Good evening, all. How are we?
Good evening.
How
How's
are
it
you,
going,
Steve?
mate? I'm not
Yeah,
bad.
I'm really
How are
good.
you?
Yeah, I'm really good.
You
I've had
okay?
a nice, relaxing holiday, and now I'm
Good
back for
break.
some more reefing. Yeah, I was in Cornwall for a week, so that was fantastic.
Beautiful Cornwall, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely superb. Had a nice little place overlooking the sea, so you can't complain.
Oh,
But,
Quebec.
it was really good. I don't know where Jay is because he was messaging about 3 minutes ago. So he's around.
He's probably having his curry or something.
Yeah, probably, or putting the shopping away or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so let's have a look to see who's in the chat. Hi, Tony. Looking forward to the stream. Yeah, so am I after a couple of weeks off. Hot weather, we'll come back onto that in a moment because we've had quite a bit of hot weather, and I understand certainly in the south, maybe across the rest of the country, Monday, Tuesday is going to be a scorcher, but we'll come on to that in a minute if that's all right.
Yeah.
Hi, Russell. Hi, Howard. Techers, good to see you in the house. Ian is on the San Miguel. Had a few of those when I was away. Hi, John. Yeah, just a shout out. Ian started a YouTube channel. So get over to his channel and have a look. So I've seen one of his videos. That was really good. Hi, UKM 120. NG Reefer. We're just going around. Oliver. Hi, Oliver. DC of the Reefing. Good evening to you. Hi, Andy. I keep on saying it every time. I do like your logo. It makes me smile. And then straight on to skids. Great timing now. Hi, Julian. And to Phil's Reef, another good logo there. And to Stu, another one. Got some cracking logos. And the Sky of Marine. AB Reef. And there we go. Right, we got to that. And that's just the timing's quite good. Because we got Mr. On Time. Hello, sir.
Evening, gents. Sorry. I was just finishing my tea there. There's no excuse.
So did it?
Yeah, is that what you guessed, Steve? Is that what you guessed?
I did, mate.
Hey, and Paul's back off his holidays as well. Good to see you, Paul.
I am. Yeah, you too. You too.
Straight off the holidays and straight back into hosting. No rest anymore.
No rest for the wicked.
Yeah.
So yeah, missing something. Well, the tank has shrunk.
I can see.
Oh yes.
So I said before I'd go on holiday, didn't I, that the tank would be closed down, which was kind of true and not true. So when I left, the 450 was empty, but there was about an inch of water in the sand. My eldest was mad. When I came back, it absolutely stunk. So it was not good. It was like a rotten smell from the sea. Then someone collected the tank on Wednesday, so I was relieved just to get it.
Someone's taken it off you, have they?
Yeah, so I gave it away in the end. Put it on. I think it was Ultimate Reef, and I put it on Facebook. Someone from Ultimate Reef wanted it.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I didn't have to carry it out. The two boys carried it out through the front door, and then it sat on the drive overnight. On Tuesday, I just put some tarpaulin over it just in case it rained. Probably wasn't going to rain. And the guy said, "Are you sure it's going to be there? Someone going to take it?" I'm thinking, good luck to someone if they want to lift a tank. Years old on the cabinet, they'd have to be pretty desperate. But hey,
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah,
that was my worry actually. You know, when you get a reef tank, I thought, is it going to actually smell of the sea? Is it going to stink like a harbour or something like that? And you know what? Yeah. They don't, do they?
No, not really.
They're relatively odorless.
Yeah, but they do if you leave only an inch of water in there and there's no circulation and it's really hot in the house while you're away. It's kind of going to smell. So I then, as soon as I came home, I had to empty it all out, and then it still didn't work. So I just put the tank out into the garden.
Yeah.
Left the cabinet in here, and that was all right. So and then Paul at AAC, he's looking after the yellow tank until I get a bigger tank, but he knows that might be a year away. So we'll see.
Wow.
Yeah, exciting times though. New tank, out with the old, in with the new. It's always
it just looks, you know what though? It looks strange though, you know, Because you used to see a big blue background in the back, and it just looks strange.
That is, I think it's 1.5 foot across, whereas the other one was 5 foot. So
yeah, exactly.
it will take some looking after. So that's 100 litres compared to 450 litres. So
yeah, you're making me so jealous with this, because this is the one that I would actually want now. The Peninsula.
Yeah.
The Nano Peninsula, that's the one I'd start with. Is it facing the other way, though?
No, it's facing... No, it doesn't look like that. It's actually facing me. So it looks a bit square. It looks a bit cube at the moment, but no, it is. It's kind of coming this way. So yeah, so it'd be the first tank I've had where I can get around all 3 sides. Usually they've been in a corner, like the 2 in the garage, one's in the corner, one's in the other corner. This one obviously has been from wall to wall, so it'd be a bit different to actually see around 3 sides. Are
you putting some things up to it, like furniture, or are you just going to leave it like that?
No, it's going to be like that. It's a bit of a debate at the moment about whether it should go in the middle.
Yeah.
Jill hates things that are kind of symmetrical. So I have a feeling it'll probably end up. So at the moment, it's in the middle.
Yeah.
Like that. It's
I see. Yeah.
It's in the middle because there's a pillar. On it.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a pillar there.
Yeah, I can see it there.
Yeah. Jill's saying there is no feeling that tank is moving this way. I suspect.
Yeah.
But as long as we can see around all 3 sides, then
I'd ask Jill where it's going and then fill it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to fill it up and then move.
It seems like she's in charge, so I'd go with that.
Yeah. So do you want a little tour of it? I mean, I haven't set anything up, but I'll see if I can. There is a couple of features on it that I think are really good.
So last week, Don was on, and I asked him about the Max Nano Peninsula.
Yeah.
And he's saying that people aren't really buying this one anymore, the cube one. Everybody's going for the Peninsula. It's just, popular. The Peninsula shape is nice, isn't it? They're always going to be popular, the Peninsulas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... He was saying that that's the one that everybody's going for, rather than the original Max Nano now. And it's the one I bloody wish that was out when I bought mine now, because I'd have gone for that as the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my you've got nieces and nephews over tonight. They're staying overnight.
Family live stream.
It's a bit noisy. So I'm just gonna log in, and then
I'd love to have a tour and see what it's all about. And
right, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and switch over onto something else, and then see what we get to.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Are you like switching onto a phone or something? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
So let me just let's go main screen.
iPad. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Right. Hopefully there's no echo. Right. Just bear with me a minute, because anything could happen. Right. Okay. So let's get my camera bearings. So there it is there.
Nice looking glass. Nice thick glass.
So,
nice
in terms of
that,
I mean, the only downside is that looks really thick because that's the sealant, but it's not. The sealant is this little bit here. And then inside, it's got plastic. So you hear about on the big tanks. On the big tanks, I can't really see that.
All right.
There you go. There. So that is a plastic seal. Yeah. So you can just see.
Yeah.
So is that... We've got the spirit level there. That's always an important bit of kit.
Yeah. So what you've got there, if you can see that there.
You can see it. Yeah.
There's a plastic seal that goes all the way down, and that goes along there, and then along here.
Yeah.
Along there. So basically that's to stop people chivvying up the silicon.
Yeah.
So if you think about people moaning about their tanks busting, Red Sea, even on the small one, have put us plastic, so it's all the way along the edge.
Yeah,
there.
That's a great idea.
It's everywhere. So even on the small tanks, they've done exactly the same. So I'm just struggling with the camera when I'm trying to do it upside down. So in terms of the quality of the glass and the finishing, really, really good. Silicon looks really solid. You can see the Peninsula
So no issues with any marks on the glass or anything? Because I know sometimes...
No, that's fine. So there you go. Hopefully you can see that as a peninsula.
Yeah.
Nice, and even the small points, if you see there's a sticker on the back, and that's a QR code to do your warranty. So what you do is you do your QR code, you go straight to the Red Sea site, just put your name in, and your extended warranty's done for 3 years.
Smart, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so certainly getting to. I hate when it's warranty. You have to find the website and you have to faff around. That's only a small point. But in terms of the quality of the build, really impressed. The cabinet is okay. Yeah. But you know what I've said before, I'm not a lover of flat pack. And obviously it's flat pack because it comes from China. So the cabinet's not as good as the DD one. Yeah. The DD one's kind of ready made. But I've got to say, as it happens, it's not too bad.
Yeah, you got your space there for you to run your cable.
Yeah, there's no shelf, but I think the only thing is if they've done a shelf that then had holes in it, but you could adjust it, you then got holes in your cabinet, and then damp could get into it. So what you've got, and every time you've put a screw in, you get a rubber washer, and the rubber washer then goes over it, so it sealed it all. And it's really a really small thing, which have been really. Where are we? Where's the camera? They've put this in. They've put a little tube of grease.
Oh, that's good.
That you actually grease up your hinges.
Yeah.
You know what I've always done. I've said it before. I use Vaseline, just a normal Vaseline tub. And I literally get a good bit of it. And I rub it all over the hinge. And my tank's been up 3.5 years now. And no rust whatsoever on any of the hinges, and it definitely because it's a water repellent in it, whether it's salt water or whether it's normal water or anything, it'll just repel it, and it's perfect. That's the best tip you can ever put in with hinges for sure.
It's a good tip, that is, Steve. Guess what I didn't do?
Didn't grease them.
I didn't grease them. Mine, I've only got 3 hinges, but the bottom hinge, mate, is just rusting to bugger.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah, it's not good. But mine wasn't. I didn't get the official cabinet. Mine is just a different cabinet that I've put it on because mine was not including the cabinet, so it's only 500 quid. So I was like, that's interesting to me because obviously the price was low. I'm interested, Paul, in the back in terms of the kit then. So I don't know if you can hear us at the moment.
It's muted.
Oh, it's muted,
Go on. It's okay, go on.
Yeah.
So what are you getting with that then? Apart from...
Do you know what? I haven't even opened that box yet, so I'll get it now.
I
know but I haven't actually. I've opened one piece of kit, but nothing else. I'll just bring the box over and.
I'd be interested to see what else you get with it as a starter setup.
Yeah, what you get with it. Yeah. Like you said, I know we all talk about it all the time about the Red Seas and stuff like that, and which one's best for a beginner setup and blah blah blah. And it goes down to a few things like we've always said in it. Your cost, it goes out your budget, and stuff. And people say, about the Red Seas, crack it, like giving way and all that. Listen, any tank can do it. And like Dom said, think of how many are sold. A year, mate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
The most popular nano is the Max Nano, isn't it? Currently,
I'll go back to the comments in a minute, so apologies. So I don't know if you've got this on yours, right? So it's a power unit. What you do, you plug the skimmer into there. Yeah. The lights into there, and on top you've got the 2 buttons. Yeah. You control the power from there, and then you basically got one plug. So you got 2 items. Right. You just take one plug. So that is really, I think that's really good.
Yeah, that's good.
So obviously, I don't know what the quality of any of this is like to last, but the stuff I'm opening, it's pretty good quality. And this is based on some of the original Red Sea ones when they got a controller, the 650, the 500, and the 400. So that's quite nice. Obviously, it's covered up there. So we got that.
The good thing about these nanos, not only obviously they're more affordable to run with the electric and things like that, but you can fit them into pretty much any house or apartment, and you don't need a great deal of space. And like you say, it is what it is. It's plug and play. So you plug in one, in one plug, put the heater in, and you're good to go. It is it's simple. They've made it as simple as possible, haven't they? With these,
absolutely. The reason I showed this, right, is your return pump goes on the bottom there, and it floats. So I don't know if it's the same. The return pump doesn't sit on anything, so it can't vibrate. That's what I've been told. I haven't set it up yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that is the case, where it doesn't touch anything,
Yeah.
that's really pretty good, because that'll be pretty silent. So there's that. You get some carbon. The only bit I'm not too sure about is the auto top off.
Yeah.
It's the float valve.
Yeah, that looks the same as mine.
I haven't undone it yet, and it's only about 2 or 3 liters. So I'm going to try it out.
What light did you get with it, Paul? Did you get a light with it?
Yeah, I got the 50.
Refled.
Oh, the LED, refled LED 50.
Yeah, so I'm not going to swap out the lights because I don't intend to keep SPS in there. So there's your auto topper there.
Yeah.
So I mean, the risk is that could get stuck. But I've had that on the 450, one of those, exactly the same mechanism for 7 years. Got stuck once or twice a year, and when I went away, I put a proper auto top off on it. The only thing is, you've probably got to fill your tank up. Yes, every 2 to 3 days, because there ain't much in there, is there? But I'm going to try it out because I don't really want to have to go and spend more money. I want to try and see if I can use as much of the kit that you get as
I agree.
as possible. So if you think about it, you got the lights, you got your skimmer. I've got to buy the heater, and that's it.
Sand and rock, and then that's it.
So in terms of electricity, at the moment, I don't plan another power head. So if I can run it off of 2 power points and 3 pieces of kit, I think that's pretty economic. I'm just trying to. What I'm going to do is, once you've paid out for this, how much more have you then got to pay out? So actually, even though it's a lot of money, this is like a grand.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot for a small tank.
It is, but that's the cabinet's 200. So if you like yourself, you put it on an existing desk. Yeah, I just wanted it as a standalone. So, but that comes with the lights. So I don't know how much the lights are separately. So you've got your lights, you've got your skimmer, you've got your return pump. You get some carbon. Obviously, you have to replace that. You get filter sock. I might have missed something else. So all you need really is a heater in terms of kit.
Yeah.
And then you're away. So I'm going to run it with all the stock stuff and see. And then for sand, I've gone for something completely different I've never had before.
Which one's this? I don't know.
No,
so I've gone for this, reef flowers.
So reef flowers.
So it's a small bucket because it's a small tank. I was looking at the live sand, and you can get how much you bought for your Pico.
Yeah.
This is probably a bit too much, but this was only 19 quid. I've never used it before. I'm going to put a little bit of live rock in and some sand from the other tank. So I don't really need live sand, even though the last 2 tanks I've set up, I've used live sand. So it's a bit of an experiment.
Yeah.
I haven't even opened it yet, so I've got no idea. All I know is it's bright white.
Yeah. So, I've never heard of this. What made you buy reef flowers? What's drawing you to the sand?
I was in AAC, and I didn't really want to buy a really big bag of sand.
Yeah.
And I didn't want live sand. And I saw this, and it was $18.99, and they've sold it for quite a while, and they said, it'd be fine. So I haven't done any research.
So basically, that sand, it contains no beneficial bacteria. No. It's just normal sand. You don't need to wash it. Do you have to rinse it? Or you just tip it in?
I'm not sure. I reckon you probably have to rinse it. The only time I haven't had to rinse new sand is when I've gone for live sand, because obviously you don't use that. It's got all the bacteria in it. So I suspect it may be a real pain in the what's it. I don't know. We'll have to. We'll have
to trial and edit it. It's trial and edit, isn't it?
Yeah, so
what's the grain size, Paul? Is it medium grain?
I've got no idea. Do you know what?
You get the fine stuff in these.
It might be as fine as you like, but the thing is, I'm not keeping any RAS, and I'm not going to have anything that goes in the sand, because the RAS in the 900 is driving me mad. They're dive bombing into the sand and covering all the chalice, which is a real schoolboy error, having peacock RAS in it. I don't know. It says the pH in. It says pH is 8.1 to 8.4. Within the sand.
I like the idea of the pearl white. It's hard to keep your sand so wide.
Small. How many litres is this? Because most of the bags you get, this is 1 to 1.5 millimetres. So I think it's quite small.
That's small,
so
yeah.
The thing is, I'm not going to have a lot of flow in the tank.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, if it's going all over the shop, I'll just take it out and replace it.
Because when it goes really fine, it starts to again kind of a bit more cohesive, and it'll start.
Well,
it's when it's in that middle territory.
Yeah. And it's if you put in a power head in it as well.
Yeah. So if I have a big power head, which I'm not, that would cause problems. And also RAS. I didn't notice it in the big tank over there because it's 5 foot tank, and I think the Sam's a little bit a bit more grain on it, and also there's more space. But in the other one, all of a sudden I've got blooms of sand all over the shop. So that's it. So the next stage is obviously got to clean it out because I haven't cleaned it out yet. Obviously got to decide where it's going to go, and then I'm going to just set it up. And before I put water in, I've got to do the aquascape. I haven't done the aquascape yet.
Yeah.
So have you decided how you're cycling it?
Yeah. So I'm probably going to go with a prawn.
Oh, you like that method, don't you?
I've not used an ammonia kit since my very first tank. That's like nearly 8 years ago. I think it's 8 years ago, something like that anyway. So I thought I'd do it proper. And then what I'm going to do is no lights. So it'll be prawn, take the prawn out, obviously test the water. And then once it's cycled, I'm going to ghost feed it probably up to week 8. Put copy pods in, all that kind of stuff in, and then ramp the lights up over a 2-week period. And then week 10, it will have a pair of clowns in it. So I'm going to get a pair of clowns that are in the other tank.
Oh, James.
And then go from there.
I would never put clowns in ever again. I just wouldn't do it.
It's only because I've got...
If anything, I'd still like to take mine out, to be honest. But, I wouldn't put clowns in ever again.
Right. So
there's so many nice little nano fish that you can get in. Obviously, they're not as
little file fish.
Yeah, well, I've got one. That's what I bought one of those last week, and he's just intimidated by the clown. Everything else I put in now is just intimidated by the clowns.
Mine's the same, mate. That's why I've not added any more fish. I was gonna when my missus was gonna buy that gen tank for me. Father's Day. And the first thing I thought was, okay, I go away in 3 or 4 weeks, and I thought I don't want to leave the mess, that my clownfish could basically be beating it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the guy who's coming around to maintain the tank, that wouldn't be fair, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I said, you know what, I'm going to wait until I get back and then I can deal with it, and see, because my clownfish, but they were the very first fish I ever got, so. They're it's like their home, their territory, it's their gaff in it, you know what I mean? So anything new comes into that tank, they're like, what are you doing in my house?
Very territorial, aren't they? But you can get the file fish, the blennies, the scooter blenny, which is amazing fish. There's a lot of choice even with a nano that's colourful, but they're always timid, and clowns aren't.
No, absolutely. No. The only reason why I'd put clans in there, because I've now got a pair of clans in the 117. I don't really want them in now. I mean, they're okay, but I want to put them in a tank on their own. And then the 170's got 3 or 4 nice fish, community fish, like fish and those kind of things. So at the moment, they're behaving themselves because they're well fed and everything else. But the last thing I need them to go rogue and all of a sudden they wipe out the timid fish in there. Because I've got a yellow assessor, the neon goby, pygmy hawkfish.
Yeah, nice
fish. They're really
interesting fish.
Fish, and I've done that deliberately. Done fish that I've never had before, and that are different. But there we go. Right, I'm just going to catch up on the comments because it's 25 minutes. And
the only positives about the clowns for me in the nano is that you see them a lot. Obviously, a lot of the other fish, they're in the rocks, they're underneath the rocks, where the clowns are always in the body of the water. So I'll give them some positive praise there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you haven't got to really worry about too much around the aquascape because very rarely do they hide. Only when
they're always out.
If you try and catch them, then they hide. But I found with that. But other than that, they're more likely if you put your hand in the tank to come and attack it.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at where we are. So comments. Yeah. Ian, things always get smaller as you get older. Speak for yourself. By the happy wife, happy.
That is very
to be fair, Jill loves the tanks, and she would still want. She said, "Why are you getting such a small tank?" what happened to the 6 foot? I said, we're not getting it yet because we haven't done the kitchen. So
I think that's what we've all got in common. We've all got supportive partners who, when it comes, I think that's important as well with this hobby, because when you're walking through with buckets of salty water and it's splashing it everywhere, and they have to be a little bit understanding as well, don't they?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely, because the floor down here, because you're replacing part of it, has got a little bit of water damage, which is not surprised because it's 7 years and I'm the messiest reefer around. And yes, even when I don't do any water changes.
Yeah.
So there you go. Women always know.
Women always know best. It's true. Keep them sweet.
I do your peninsula. Yeah. We'll come back to that in a minute. That's another one about the insane.
Yeah, I'm having a nightmare with that, to be honest. I'm not looking forward to next week.
Ducking in and out. Okay, Chris.
Yes.
Thanks, Chris.
Missed a bit.
Give me a shout about bespoke. I did think about having a bespoke cabinet, but I must admit, I just thought I'd go all in. Where they go. Now, that is an improvement, that cabinet, compared to previous versions. That is thicker wood than the 450 and the 170. So that's got a better cabinet strength, I think, than the 5 foot tank.
Is it built in the same spec as the S2s? The Gen 2s, sorry.
So I think so. So I think that would be around, what they've done is they've used thicker wood. The coating on it is definitely better than the 170 and the 450. So that would be the Gen 2. As I say, anytime you've put a screw in anything, there's a plastic cover on it.
Yeah, little details.
That helps protect it. So it's got quite a lot of detail in it in terms of how they're protecting it. And on here, the feet are already stuck on. Whereas the older tanks, you had to hammer the feet on yourself. Whereas these ones are already molded in the factory. So for me, on a cabinet, the more they've done themselves, I think the better quality it is, and it also saves me messing it up as well.
Was it an impulse buy, or was it a plank? So when you sent a picture to our group, it's like, oh my god, I just bought a Peninsula Max Nano, and I'm like, he's not once said that. Has he just gone to the fish shop and just gone, oh, do you know what?
I thought about it a couple of weeks before holiday, and then I said to Paul at AAC, have you got any in?
Yeah.
He said, why, do you want one? And I said, well, I might be interested. Can you save it? And I think about it. And he said, yeah. So I went on holiday, and then I came back late on the Friday night, and then I had to go and see Paul about saying else, and I went in the shop and thought, oh, let's get it. Jill said, if you want it, you just get it. So it
wasn't an impulse buy, though.
I thought about it, and then I just thought, I want another tank. So now I've got a Nano, the 170, and the 280. So that's like a 1.5 foot, 2 foot, and 3 foot. So at some point, when I've got used to it, I will do a video around, choosing a tank across those. So I've got 3 different sizes for beginners, and obviously I've had the 5 foot tank as.
I reckon that's.
I really like you say. Yeah, all those tanks that you've got really are more than capable for a beginner tank.
Yeah,
aren't they? You know what I mean? From all your sizes, you could start off on the smallest one like you've got there, and you could go up to the one that you've got, the 280. Really, 250, 280. That's really classed as a big. You could have that as a beginner tank. It's not massive. I believe like huge is like when you're going into like the 425s, 500s and stuff like that. That's classed as like big, because everything is double. You know what I mean? So you got to have double lights. You got to have a larger skimmer. You got to have larger, filtration. Everything's more than double the price. You know what I mean? If you can manage on the stuff that you get with the tank, it's perfect for a beginner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The one I really want to compare. What I really want to compare is the 170 in that, because the price point between the two of them isn't massive. The only thing is, obviously, you get all the kit with that, but with the 170, you've got to buy basically you get that as it stands there, and you've got to buy everything. You've got to do your return pump, and that's where the money is. So if you look at, you can get a Gen 1 170 for 750 quid. Which that's 799. So you think, why wouldn't I go for that? But of course, you haven't got any kit. So you think about the lights, and we've talked before about how much it costs all of that.
Yeah.
I think it's a decent price. That, to be fair, for what you get for what you get the light. I mean, the light is what, 250 quid.
I'm not too sure. Someone said it's the Reef LED. So
then 250 quid or something. Yeah, so. Really, in retrospect, and everything you get with it, you know what I mean? I don't think it's that, and the stand's £200. So really, and then you get everything else. So the tank is what, £500, 450 quid.
So I sold my light, as you know. I sold my light for 200 quid, and then I paid another 150 just for the radiant. So because I hadn't used it, I basically sold it straight away.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're right. It is worth that 200 quid.
Yeah. So Hayley, it's a good point, but I could actually put a Red Sea bucket of salt in the bottom of the tank and use that as the ATO. So I wouldn't need a separate cabinet, because at the moment it's hard to see because I was waving the camera around, but there's no shelving in there. So I could put a container in there and then use an ATO up to the top and so I wouldn't need anything at the
I think a little side cabinet would look good though, like Hayley's saying.
Yeah, but I don't know if I need one. That's the only thing, because I've got nothing in that cabinet. I've got no sum, I've got nothing. So the plan is not to have anything. I mean, maybe I would.
What are you going to do once it's fully stocked? So what's your stocking idea for it, Paul? Are you going to go to softies, LPS? Because you're going to, and then are you just going to be doing like water changes as opposed to dosing? So what's the plan?
So the plan for the first 6 months is to use, so after week 10, put the fish in, and then I'll use corals from the other tank until I know they're okay. So like zoas, chalice, maybe a torch or two, that kind of stuff. And then after about 6 to 9 months, and I'll decide then what I want to do. So once I know that I've got, I can grow stuff, and then I'm probably quite specific. So I'll either go all NEM and just have a NEM tank, or I will go maybe all Zoa and just go all on one particular thing and create just a bio that's just specific to one type of something. What I know, if I went down the NEM route, it would take about 9 months until it's mature, and then put some NEMs in. So I'm undecided on that, but I don't think I'll go all SPS, because if I just do SPS, that's going to be a real bullseye.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
So I might as well do that in one of the bigger tanks. Yeah, I know.
If you do SPS in there, you're going to make me feel really bad then.
Should I go to some SPS, some ones that stay green? Get a tin. I get a banana orange What's-It and stick that in it. And
I'm not even allowed to buy tennies. I'm not even allowed to buy them. They won't even sell them to me. I'm that bad at tennis.
The only reef keeper, what doesn't get sold, corals.
It's genuinely. I won't sell them to me.
Yeah, they come in, he goes out, they go out to him. No, Jay.
He's like, oh, can I have that one? No. Why? You're only going to kill it. I'm like, you're supposed to be like giving me a bit of confidence about the hobby. He's like, no, I don't want you killing it. It's a nice coral. I was like, oh, cheers, mate. Thank you for that.
Oh, mate, you know what?
Don't go SPS, Paul, because you just you'll make me feel even worse about SPS than I already do.
Yeah, what I found in the 170 is the first 12 months, it just sucked on the SPS.
Yeah.
Nothing really done anything. Quite a few of them died. They lost their colour. So I just gave up on SPS. And now the colour's coming back. There were only Monties, and I got one stick.
Yeah.
And that was it. Right, okay, so let's just go through, because I'm way behind. So Reef Flowers, nice sound. Thanks, Hayley. I haven't really heard of it before. Phil's Reef, he used a higher flow return pump, so I didn't need a wave maker. Yeah. Decent sound.
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
Can I go back to that one? So mine now is reaching 2 years, and my return pump is a little bit, sometimes it stops, so I have to give it a little knock just to wake it up again. What is the other return pump that who was it there that was I need to buy another one, I think.
Where is it?
Mine's getting a bit unreliable. No.
Oh, there you go.
Jay, you should always have spares.
Here we go. Phil's Reef. Can you tell me what is it? The sea shade one that people use, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't get them. They sound like jackhammers. remember when I told Ross with that one, he called an emergency Cobra meeting, didn't he?
I know, yeah.
I said, "What do you mean? It sounds perfect in mine. There's nothing wrong with it." It sounds like a jackhammer. I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm not going to recommend any pump no more. That's it, mate. No pumps.
I remember that well. So no, Haley, I haven't opened the sand yet. Alan's saying around, he bought the sand, quickly took it out, looked really white, didn't look very natural. So we'll see.
Yeah,
it's very fine. See, that's what happens. I haven't done any research. That says 0.5 to 1 millimeter sand. You need to rinse it before use. I think it said 1 to 1.5, but who knows? It might be a big mistake.
If it is too white, it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't look as natural, does it? That's the thing.
Well, I don't clean the sand, so it won't be long before.
It'll look like one of them freshwater ones. White pebbles that you just go, what on earth's going on there?
Yeah. So we'll see. I soon find on the live stream when you got blue light and it's radiating like someone's teeth when they've been to. So you'll be telling no, get rid of it.
Glowing.
We'll see. So it may be good or it might bomb, but we'll see. Just get a bigger tank, Jay. Clowns won't be an issue then.
Yeah, that is true. I'm just prepping it up for Christmas now.
Yeah. Clowns only live in 2 by 2 foot area. Yeah, when I had the clowns in the tank here, they stayed in one corner. The only time they came out of the corner of more than about 2 foot when it was feeding time. Yeah,
mine stay at the front, as you can probably tell on this live stream.
Yeah. So there's some good ideas there. Court Jester, Yasha, Piston, Green Coral Goby, Neon Goby. Yeah, I love that choice. There's some really good. They're actually really small fish. There's some fantastic fish around.
There's a lot of. Can I just say to Haley, her Gonipora are just amazing. She's got some amazing Gonipora, huge colonies. They look stunning, Haley. They look stunning. Very like them.
The TMC wave tank, that does look good. I saw that when I was at TMC. So they look really good. I think they're about 329 quid, and you get nearly almost as you get with that, if not the same. I don't think you get an auto top-off. I think you need to get that, I think. But it's a slightly smaller, but it's a decent tank. Love Court Jester. Yeah, it's probably. I mean, I'm well used to using the Red Sea ATO, but Tunzi, absolutely. I got a Tunzi on one of the other tanks. They're brilliant. And Steve, you've bought the Tunzi, haven't you?
Yeah, just cut off the bloody pump. That's all you got to do with them. Freaking I hate it. I hate the sound of it, mate. I just hate the sound. Noisy. It's too noisy. Yeah, I said it last week on the live stream. Yeah, if I could, I mean, somebody said to me, cut the pump off. Yeah. Off my old one that I've got, because I think that pump still works, off my old one, just thread the wires, just cut the plug, pull the wires through and put them into the socket of the Tunza, and it worked. Yeah. Somebody left me a message, I don't know who it was, on Instagram. So I might just do that to see if it does work. To be fair, if it does, I'm going to use that pump. It's so noisy. It comes on
like once every 2 hours or something. It's not that much, for like 10 seconds.
You what, mate?
It comes on like for 10 seconds once every hour, every 2 hours. It's not like... Is that actually affecting your quality of life?
You know what? He's getting it in the ear. You can tell he's getting it in the ear.
He's getting it in the ear.
Is that right, Steve?
You hear?
Can you hear? Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Steve, I can hear you. You're not saying anything, so I can't hear you.
Just went off at the moment. Yeah, no, I know what you say, Jay, but you know what? It's fully fun. I'm in the house. You know what I mean? It's a nightmare.
Your sound's gone, Steve.
I've got dog. Hey?
It's like your internet's gone slow.
Yeah.
Or your voice has. I don't know which one.
We'll come back to we'll come back. Oh, hello. We'll come back to right, let's go through.
Yeah, but Nuno's right with the ATO. It does. You won't keep with that for very long.
No, I just want to try it out and see, and then if it's crap, then it's.
It's hard.
I just want to try and see what the stock items are like. Yeah, coals in 2 weeks. It's only because because I've got other tanks lately. I haven't got to look at this one, so I can leave it dark for 10 weeks and then stick the coals in. And I just find I get the ugly stage is minimal if I do that. So I just like that way of doing that. So all Zoas sounds amazing. Yeah, I've got 7 or 8 different types of Zoas I can put in there, and they're I can't do anything with them in the other tank.
I don't know if you saw our last stream when you were on holiday, but we got Ocean Blue Corals in who has lots of Zoas. So you're probably worth checking him out. But don't plant them all at the same time, because one species will start to dominate the others. You've got to kind of I think there's a lot of strategy to it, which you'll figure it out. It's like a game of chess.
I think what I'm going to do is, if I put them in, I'll put them on small pieces of rock. So if they start growing too quick, I'll just whip it out.
Yeah.
And if there's any left, I just put some putty over, and that'll kill them off. If that happens.
Grow on sand, because mine seems to have stopped as soon as I hit the sand.
Yeah, so with this tank, no corals on the sand. I've said that before. But I'm going to have a kind of traditional peninsula with just rock down the middle, and then there's going to be no corals on the sand. Whether I can stick to that, because I would love that. Every tank, but I'd like to do that because I think it looks cleaner.
Yeah, that's so much better.
Extra flow with power heads, absolutely. If I need extra flow, I can stick a power head in. Clean the pump, Jay. So have you tried cleaning the return pump with citric acid?
Yeah, I haven't got any citric acid, and I don't know. I know and I've never done it. You know, when you do something for the first time, you're always a bit apprehensive. But I don't know. How do you make sure it's completely clean? You don't want acid there, do you? In there.
No, but it's food grade. It's just the kind of stuff they use in food. So what I do is just get a little pot.
Yeah.
Put it in the water for about an hour. Use the toothbrush on it. Do that. And then put it dip in for another hour, and then you wash it off with a toothbrush, and it's fine. I cleaned all the kit, all the return pumps and everything when I closed down the other tank.
Yeah. Is this something you can buy off Amazon? Let's have a look.
So you try that, Jay. It's the TMC Reef Pump 1000, or you can get their new stand-up pumps. I don't know if you've seen them. They're like little bullets.
Yeah,
they're really good. There we go. Citric acid your pump. It's much safer than vinegar. It's food grade, people. You know, it's not going to damage anything, Jay.
Citric acid.
J-Cod return pump. Steve, you use citric acid, don't you?
A lot of people.
Yeah, mate. I use citric acid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Very first time I did use. When I first started out in it, I did the vinegar, and obviously it's acid.
It's corrosive, isn't it?
Corrosive, and it burns everything. Yeah. So and then somebody was saying like it can split like seams of
how much do you use?
It doesn't matter, mate.
I just pour it in.
Doesn't matter how much you
I don't measure it. I don't measure it.
Oh, that sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link.
Food grade it's got to be.
Yeah.
As long as it says food grade, that's nice. Yeah, that's okay.
And you just put it sitting there for now, you say?
Just dump it. Seriously, just dump it in. I do about 4 scoopfuls,
Yeah.
Throw it in a bucket with not RO, just normal tap water.
I use tap water.
I just use normal tap water, dissolve it in normal tap water like that.
Yeah.
Put all my pumps in it, And sometimes if it's the wave makers, I'll run the pump in the water, If not, then I'll just take them apart, stick them in the gyros, stick them apart, put them in, leave them in for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something. And I swear to God, when you take the pump out, I run it under the tap. Then just put it under the tap, run it, and you don't even need to scrape it. It just comes off.
Does it?
Dissolves. Yeah,
it's really good. I mean, I use a toothbrush because it doesn't take so long. So I usually dip it, scrub it, scrub it, and rinse it off, and it's fine.
Really good. And then rinse it off with RO then.
Yeah.
Before you put it in your tank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I sent the link to Steve after we talked about it a month ago, and it was price. It was 2 kilograms out of Amazon. I can send you the link. And it was 21 quid. I nearly had a heart attack because in October I bought the same bag for £8.99. But
this one's only 10 quid. 1 kilogram, £10. That'd be enough.
It's not. Yeah, it's about roughly the same size as what I've got. So yeah,
let's go with that then.
There you go. So I used the J-Cod 2000.
I know.
Pump. There you go, Jay. Someone else. So Phil, that's a J-Cod 2000 litre pump in the Max Nano. But didn't connect it to the return pump switch. Only swapped it out as the original pump was too noisy and failed after a year.
Yeah, mine's.
Yeah.
I'll try this first, and then if this doesn't work, so I've ordered it now. Sunday's job that is.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
So there we go. Couldn't hear you over the 88.
Trust me, if it comes on, I'm gonna run over there and I'll let you hear it. I swear to God, you were like, "What in the hell?" I'm sure I've got a faulty one. I always have faulty ones, me. For some reason, I don't know why. It's crazy, mate. Yeah,
I can't believe you moaning about something that comes on for 10 seconds. Not even that.
Listen, doesn't matter. 10 seconds is horrible. Even 10 seconds out of my day, mate. It's time wasted. Listen,
time wasted.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, reliable. It'll never let you down. So you've got to have some compromise sometimes.
Listen, I totally agree with you, mate. 100% in reliability, yeah. But what I've said it time and time again. When you're paying all that money for an ATO, yeah, where you can go out and you can pay something 3 times less than what that is, yeah, and the pump you don't even hear it, yeah. Now surely the Germans have to think. You know what? We have to think about making something a little bit quieter, even though it comes on for 10 seconds every so often. Yeah, still doesn't matter. Still doesn't matter. It's about making something that you don't hear, and like it's basically like a Rolls Royce, because that's what you pay. It does cost a lot of money.
It's not cheap, is it?
It's not cheap, mate. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
Paying for the redundancy, and somehow you got the redundancy, but they forgot to put a quiet pump on there because it is noisy. But mine's in the garage, so I just ignore it. But you can hear it.
I swear to God, when it first went off, my missus shit herself.
This is excuse me. This family show. The family show.
Oh God, it's not 9 o'clock yet. No, but I swear to God, mate. Yeah, she was like, "What in the hell is that?" She thought like the steam was breaking or something in the tank, mate. And I'm like, and even then I was like, "Oh my God, that is loud." That, you know, what the hell's going on here? Because it was super noisy, mate. I know somebody put down in the live stream, was it not last week, the week before, Jay, saying over time it gets a bit quieter and all that. I'm hoping you're right, my friend, because
it doesn't go silent. I don't think it does.
Somebody said it goes quieter, so I don't know whether it means like a little bit quieter.
Mine's been the same. Mine's been in there 2 years nearly, and it's still the same sound. But I've never seen you this animated since the KH Keeper. This is
always, every year there's something different, isn't there?
I know.
Yeah.
This is why he loves the hobby, because you know he finds something that he can moan about. Then.
Listen, it's
Right, let's carry on. So there's
better than that D&D one for sure.
Yeah, a few people saying about citric acid.
I've ordered it now.
White vinegar, 30 to 70%. I must admit, I wouldn't go back to vinegar. I don't know if white vinegar is any different to normal vinegar in terms of, is it less corrosive? I don't know, but I must admit, I'd get on with citric acid. It works pretty well. There we go. Here we go. 25 grams per litre, Jay, if you want to be. I must admit, I just pour it in. I just pour it into the container and that's it.
Yeah. I don't think it really matters. I don't
think it really matters. When I'm doing it.
Well, if that's the case, Cottage Reef, I'm putting probably about 200 grams or something in my bucket. I'm overdosing it.
I thought all your wave makers were brand new. Why are you having to clean them already?
No, you still got to keep in maintenance on them, haven't you? Gyros, remember, if gyros get any sort of algae film or anything like that, on them, they run. Well, most pumps actually, rather than running at 100%, they're probably running at 50% of what the capacity is.
I've never properly cleaned mine.
You should always. I always clean my pumps, mate. Always clean my pumps. You know what I mean? Seriously, that's the one.
Don't clean that Tunzi. Let a bit of algae film on your Tunzi one.
Listen, I might. Yeah, exactly. I swear to God, I might. Yeah. I'm not cleaning that pump. That can stay in, mate. Yeah.
So Jay, here's an idea here. Run the pump in citric acid, so actually it's flowing through. Run it for an hour. So you may want to make sure it's not in the house and it flows out the bucket. But
that's a good idea. The difficulty with that one is like yours is, Paul. You know, the Max Nano. It's not a plug. It's the actual connector. So you have to keep it near the pump. You have to keep it near the tank.
Yeah.
To get the electric,
link. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Moving on, Damon Buckley, new reefer. Welcome.
Welcome to the hobby. We need a lot more of you guys and girls out there just to join the hobby because it balances up the people that are unfortunately leaving at the moment.
Absolutely. And look at that for a bargain. 70 quid for Fluvo Evo with heater, wave maker, light, and the lid.
Yeah,
it is bargain time though at the moment, isn't it? It is. You can get a really good setup second hand.
Bargain.
Corals haven't gone up in price really. You know,
not really.
I really do like those Evos. We say it time and time again, don't we? They're fantastic little first time tanks for somebody like yourself just getting into it. Brilliant, because then it's like a starting point in it of like, if you like it, you might not like it, you might not like the hobby, it might not be for you, but you know what? Like you said, you know, you've only spent 70 quid, so it's, you know what I mean, rather than paying thousands out like I did. You know what I mean? I did, yeah.
It's the start of an addiction. That is exactly what that is.
Absolutely. I've gone the other way because my tanks are getting smaller.
Yeah.
Just like chopping them up. So you had one massive one. Now he's got 3 little ones.
Yeah, well, I did a massive one plus the 2 smaller ones, but yeah, definitely downgraded for now anyway. And then we've got, here we go, 50 grams per litre.
What was the other one? 25 grams.
Yeah, I think both were both 50.
No, one was.
The other was 25. So you got 25 and then you got 50 grams. So it's going higher. Or you can do like me and.
If I go somewhere in the middle, I might be about right, I think.
I tell you what, just throw it in.
Yeah. What?
I just throw it in.
No.
I know you're
everything you refit, you always underdose, don't you? Or underuse whatever it is.
Listen, you're not tipping it in your tank.
No.
Well, I've been known to tip. RX in there. That was a bad day.
Yeah, and your fan.
Yeah.
Fan, yeah.
Right, let's keep going. So I want to come back to. Oh, there we go. Kamoa ATO is silent.
Yeah.
Just rubbing it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It goes quiet when it gets frozen.
That is true.
That could be happening soon, my mate. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. Once a month, I always give my pads a quick strip clean. Yeah. Fair comment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To go.
I mean, that's the key to success, isn't it? It's like your routine.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do every day? What do you do every week? What do you do every month? Every 3 months? Or every 3 months, I change my carbon roughly. So you go without what?
No, go on, Jay. Go on, mate.
So we all have our own little routine. You got to stick to it. But I've not got this one in my routine yet. The cleaning.
No, you should.
Just scrub them a little bit. You know what?
No, you should always, because it's not the outside of the pump. Yeah, it's the impeller on the inside.
Yeah.
Because the impeller, yeah, believe it or not, it gets like all grime on it and all like uneaten food and all that stuff on the impeller side of it. Yeah, and that's what, when you take it out, you'll see it. I swear to God, you'll take it out with your pumps. And it will have an all like orange slimy film all over it. Every pump does. Because it's just a film out of the water, the salt water, and the stuff that little bits of organics.
Salt water, the horrible stuff, though, isn't it? Just gross.
Yeah. But also, you find once you've cleaned it, it'll work better. I find whenever I clean any of the power heads,
I agree.
The flow goes. I wouldn't say what percentage it goes up by.
I agree.
But it definitely gets better, and then you got less chance of them breaking as well because they're working harder. Throw out less power.
But it's better to run them in the citric acid. Is that what you're saying to me?
No, I don't run them in the citric acid. I just clean it and let it soak in the citric acid. But I mean, someone's saying run the pump in the citric acid. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. No.
Both of it works. It works both ways.
When you stick your pump or whatever pump you've got in, Jay. So say your power head, it'll have like your green algae. It'll always have green algae on it, Just take that pump out and stick it in the citric acid, and you watch the amount of like bubbles that start to come up. Hundreds of little bubbles start to come up, and that's the citric acid getting into the algae, and it's eating in it, and it's stripping it down. It's basically softening it. Leave it in there a couple of hours, or leave it in as long as you want. It doesn't really. I've had mine in 12 hours. 14 hours, mate. Gone out.
You can't do that with a return pump, can I?
No, but done it the next day. and the next minute, honest to God, mate, you don't even hardly need to brush it. You just like give it a rinse under and tap. It just comes off. Yeah, it comes off, mate.
All the corallines off as well and everything,
if you scrub, you've got to scrub coralline. I don't think it'll drop off just with the citric acid, but
We've got a YouTube star here, Steve. We've got another YouTube star.
I said she was live on YouTube, and
bless. Nice. That is cool.
Yeah. I tell you the other one that's good. On one of the other tanks, I've got the Smart ATO. It's a really small one.
Yeah.
And it works really well. That's another good. That one's a lot quieter.
Yeah, the green one.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, welcome to YouTube.
You're live on YouTube. Please do not swear.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's exciting for kids, though. They love YouTube just as much as we do.
And they just, yeah. So the smart ATO is pretty good, and it's a lot cheaper, Steve. Not rubbing it in because I've got the two tanks next to one another. I've got the Tunzi on one, and I've got the smart on the other, and they both work pretty well.
I mean, the Tunzi one, like I said before, yeah. I wanted the Tunzi one originally, like before I got my first one, you know, the original one, yeah. But they didn't have any in stock, so I was just like, well, I need one, so I'm just going to buy the D&D one. Now the D&D one, don't get me wrong, fantastic ATO. It worked a treat for 2.5 years, so I can't really follow it. And it's 60 odd quid, whatever it was. It was a bargain, you know what I mean? When I look at it, quiet, perfect, did its job. But you know what? You over time, you know that it's only got one failsafe on it, and that's the you know, the optical eye in it. Whereas this one has got 3 failsafes on it. Yeah, so that's what you're paying the money for. You're not paying. So they basically, the Germans, you know, what the Germans are thought of. We will give 3 redundancies, but we'll give a noisy pump. You know what I mean? That's what they've thought. You know, and really in saying, well, you know what, let's charge them another 5 or 10 quid and we'll give them a better pump, which I would have said, right, okay, then that's perfect. But they didn't. Now they've given us sort of like, sounds like a jet engine. Well, mine does anyway. You know what I mean? So
they made it perfect to start with.
I'm not best pleased.
You wouldn't upgrade, would you? Yeah. That's the thing as well. If they made it perfect to start with, you'd never upgrade because you'd have a really good pump. So when the silent version comes out next year, you'll be buying it. So they've got double the amount of money out of you. That's how it works.
We've been there before.
I'm not buying any more pumps, mate.
Yeah,
that is it. Well, I am not buying anything this year now. That's me.
Can I ask you as well, gents? Big question here. How's the Pico challenge going?
I did fail. I still haven't set it up. It's still on a table somewhere.
Didn't you ever put any water in yours? No.
Do you know what? I've seen something else that's shiny.
So you didn't even get started.
So
I think Steve's been up
2023, but
he's watching TV whilst he's on this stream. Look, pay attention, Steve.
There's mine. It's not doing good. It's not doing good, really. It was doing good there. That Satosa was good, but it stripped, and the reason it stripped was because of that temperature. You know, the temperature.
Temperature, yeah.
Literally, literally overnight, it had gone. The Satosa had gone, mate. You know what I mean? It was like mega. That went really, really hot. So I switched it. And you can't cool it down, can you? You can't cool a Pico. It's impossible. What was I going to do? Put an ice cube in it? You know what I mean? It was like, what the hell? I can't do anything with it. So So I switched the because it's on that thermostat, that thing you want. The what's it called? The one that I had spare, the temperature controller. So now it's sitting at 24.8 now, but it went to 20. I think it was 27.9. It went to the other day. So I was like, holy crap! So it shot up, and there's nothing I could have done. I was like, well, what could I do? You know what I
mean? Mine went up to 30 degrees, and it just it just wiped everything out. It basically killed everything that was in there. So I haven't got mine yet.
Right.
But I was doing some research on this, interestingly. So apparently, corals can cope with up to 28.8 degrees Celsius.
Right.
Up to 28.8 without any significant damage. Maybe Acropora might suffer a bit, but they can cope with that. But it's more so about the speed at which you get to 28.8 or go back down. Just wait whichever way it's going. Try and do it slowly as possible.
That's like
after 28.8, then you're getting into losses. Then.
Yeah, well, that's just like anything, isn't it? It's like if you have an alkalinity spike or an alkalinity drop. You know what I mean? You should never correct it straight away. So if it risen, you should never say, "Oh my God, it's gone to 10.5 and I'm running at 8." Yeah, you should never say, "Right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do anything no more. I'm going to stop all my dosing and let it just drop down right to 8.5 again." Because you shot the system even more. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with most things. Do you know what I mean? So, but like I said, for me with temperature, it's a killer, mate.
It is a killer.
I said, just risen. So I run that at 20. That's usually like reading 25.2 that nano, and it went to 27.8 or 27.9, I think it was. Yeah. So that's 2.5. That's nearly 3 degrees hotter than what it runs at. Now in a little nano tank, in a bigger tank, you can maybe get away with it slightly. Yeah. In a Pico, you don't have a chance, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got no chance whatsoever.
even when your temperature's up, like say 28, don't panic and put a load of like fans or ice or frozen whatever you're floating in there and drop it too quickly, because that's when you'll have losses as well. If you sit it at 28, it's not going to kill much. I say the max, and when you look at the sea as well, they're talking about the ocean temperatures. You do get quite 2 degree swings in the ocean. The corals are fine because it's the speed at which it's swinging.
Yeah.
So 28.8 is the number. So try not stay within that, underneath that range.
So I must admit, I don't use, over all the years, I've never done anything to try and bring the temperature. I just let it do its thing.
You've done it, and you live in London.
Yeah. So was it this week or whatever, since I've been back, the tank was up to 27.5 degrees and it was 33 degrees outside. And basically, I always keep the windows and doors closed, and that does help. Now, if it goes up to 38 degrees, I may well have to do something. Now, there's a really good one here about, no, not that one. I'll come back to that one in a minute.
Yeah, because it's going to be 40 on Tuesday. This is where we've got our biggest challenge ever in temperature-wise.
So, there was one about this. So when I came back from holiday, the lights on my Gen 4 packed up, and I didn't have any lights on my tank from Tuesday to when I come back. So that was until Saturday.
This is a good point, this one.
One of the SPS had lost a bit of colour, so it's gone a bit brown. Everything else looks no different. So I had no lights for 4 days. If I'd had no flow for 4 days, that would have been a wipeout. But so actually, it's a fair point that actually you could turn your lights off for 2 days. So
this is what I'm going to have to do.
I might turn my lights off for 2. So at 33 degrees outside, I'm okay. If it goes another 3 or 4 degrees, I'm not too sure if it will stay below the kind of 28.5. So I think I will, once I get the alert and it's kind of that temperature, I think I'll turn the lights off. And then what I'll do is in the DD900 in the sump, the RO is next to it. So I could put ice cubes of RO in the RO unit, and that will make the rest of the tank cold, because obviously it sits right next to it. And
I might even just switch my bloody temperature probe off completely. Switch it all off. Switch the thermometer off. Switch it all off.
It doesn't matter, though, does it? Because it won't be on.
Or set it super low, because it's plugged into the apex in it. You know what I mean? So I can have it super low, and it'll trip on when the temperature raises. I can have it, fluctuating either way in one sense. You know what I mean with mine, because it's linked to the apex. I can have it come on at say 24.5, but I can have it go off. I can have it go off at 25.2, say, and have it the lower range of it, if you know what I mean. But because even then, if it goes above that, say if it goes above 25.5 or something, say because of the heat in the room or whatever, that means that it's completely switched off anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's complete. The heat is off. It's not even running on the tank. All it is just going to be the temperature of the room that's keeping it boiling up. You know what I mean? That way, then, I mean, I usually freeze water bottles and stick them in the sump. That's the only other way that you can, and then I'll just drop them in the sump. But then that raises obviously your sump, and then hence that raises the skimmer. Then that makes the skimmer go mad because the water in the sump has gone higher. You know what I mean? So it's a balancing act, with it. I mean, if I put it in the fish. I put it in the actual display tank once, and the fish, I swear to God, the clownfish panicked that much. It flew into the glass and stunned itself. I thought it was dead. I thought it broke its neck, because it literally floated, turned on its side, and it started. And I was like, oh my God, it's just hit the glass when I put one of the bottles in. Anyway, it recovered. After about 5 minutes, it recovered. But that's why I don't like sticking them in it. You know what I mean? Because the fish panic like mad when something like that goes in the tank. Yeah, you know what I mean. So
what Mick is saying there, on Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to have to do that. This room gets very, very hot no matter what I do. Yeah. So I'm going to turn the lights off, like you say, Paul. It doesn't really affect the corals if you turn them off for a day or two, and it makes quite a big difference to the temperature of the tank. Another thing I've seen as well, if you've got like one of these fans, this is standard, I'm getting
that.
I've seen people attach frozen bottles to here, right to the actual surface. And it's like aircon apparently. Apparently it works like aircon. I'm telling you, I'm laughing. Right, check it out. Frozen bottle.
Jay's tipping the date.
tip of the day. It behaves like aircon, I'm telling you. Well, I haven't tried it myself, but that's what some people said.
Right, so Jay, what you do, you'll tie bottles to the fan, and the fan will fall over and fall in the tank.
No, I'm not gonna. No, you get it balanced, don't you? Obviously.
You need to tie it to the front of it. It's gonna go.
Well, you can put one. You can put them one at the front, one at the back. As long as it's blowing over the cold, like the frozen bottle, it's gonna be cold air, isn't it?
There's a few comments in here about using a fan and the evaporation cooling effect. Chris has gone all technical on us. Calls for
it's evaporative cooling. It's called. So you need to have your ATO topped up for those days, because obviously to cool the tank down, you blow in air on the surface.
Yeah,
that's exchanging to create a cooler. Cooling the water down, but your evaporation rates go through the roof. So all of us need to make sure our ATOs are pretty full for that next week, because you're going to get so much evaporation because of all the fan action that they're going to get to keep them cool.
Wow,
it's true.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've learned something new then today.
Well, yeah, you've learned how to set up air conditioning, and you've learned about evaporative cooling. The more evaporation, the cooler your tank will be.
How to set up air conditioning on the cheap side. That's perfect.
Yorkshire style.
Yeah. yeah. Don't fork out thousands for an air conditioning unit. Just use 2 bottles of frozen water and a fan. That's perfect, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I'm only going because I looked at YouTube. That was one of the ways, and it's apparently very effective. But anyway.
Oh, there we got the loft hatch. Remember we had that conversation?
Oh yes, like a chimney. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some really good ideas.
Yeah, there is some good ideas. The light ones are very good idea.
Anyone? I bet you Jay is on. I mean, I'm not.
Hitting himself.
I'm concerned about Monday and Tuesday, but I'll sort of.
Steve's missing does that when the ATO comes on.
I'll tell you what, mate. You know what? Honest to God, Southeast Reefers, but it works. It works behind. To put the bottles behind the fan, and it.
Behind. Yeah, you fasten behind.
Yeah.
Mate, apparently it makes you room like it's been air conditioned. Apparently.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try that.
Oh no, you're not allowed now. You've just absolutely ripped the hell out of me.
I thought you was taking the mick. Actually,
no.
You said that. I seriously.
Air cooling, you see.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not the best with physics and stuff like that, mate, and all that sort of stuff.
Or quiet pumps.
Yeah.
There you go. Look, air turbulence.
Loads of comments about it.
Aeration. Oh, thanks, guys. At least he thought I was losing the plot, mate. I told you.
Jay's tip of the week.
There you go. Tip of the week. Have you got a fan? You need a fan. Stick frozen, but ATM.
So there we go. There's quite a lot of some really good tips actually now.
There is, and we all need it because it's going to be the hottest day ever in the UK. So this is really going to put our skills to the test.
Yeah.
There could be a Cobra meeting on Monday or Tuesday.
I was going to say that. You took the word.
I'm at work though, so I've got my poor wife. She works at home, and she'll be like updating me on the temperature, and I'll be like, "Make sure you change the bottles on the back of the fan, dear." She'll be like, "Piss off. Let me work."
We've run out of ice. Quick.
She'll be just spending the day trying to keep my tank cool for me, bless her. Whilst I'm at work.
I know. Right, so I think we've done that. Some really good tips. And I think I know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do exactly that. Get the fan, get some ice, and then watch the fan fall over when I put the ice, when I attach it to the fan.
I say, you know what I say? We all post pictures on our social media, of us all doing it, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it, and I'm going to stand there.
You're not allowed. You can't take the mick out of something and then do it yourself. That doesn't how it works.
It's not taking a mick. Is you know what I'm going to do? It's going to be like a field exercise. I'm going to see what
field exercise.
He's going to go. I've had a great idea. This is what I've done. What a brilliant idea I've got. Jay, you should try it.
Yeah,
you should try it, Jay.
That's the tip of the day, Steve. Anyway, you've had
mate. Hey, that's a great tip, Matt. And you know what? If it works, mate, I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10 in your score.
Well, I've not even tried it. It's just I've been looking. Right. I've been looking because I'm building up to this hot days. So I'm thinking. I can't afford to get air conditioning now.
I've not even thought about it seriously. I've not even thought about it. You know,
right. So the first thing is make sure you got lots of things frozen ready to go, and make sure your ATO is topped up because you're going to blow the hell out of the surface of the water to cool your tank down. Yeah.
So what's it supposed to be where you live? Because where we are, so just outside of London.
Yeah, you're the hottest.
It's going to be what, 37 to 39 degrees. It's been 33 this week, so that is quite a big difference. And the tank hasn't got. I think it said 27.5 is the highest mine's got to on that.
Yeah, it's
probably go up by about another degree. If it's
there's a map here, look. Everybody loves. I love a map here.
I know you do.
I love
the geography. Here you go. Look.
We're on solo.
There we go. God, so basically,
wow.
Basically,
in London.
Basically, you're in trouble. Look. Unless you live in like West Island or up near where Ross lives. Ross has got 29. He won't know what to do, Ross, with 29 degrees. But yeah, Scotland never gets 29. But yeah, London, Paul, you're in the furnace.
Yeah, I was thinking of going to work on Tuesday and Wednesday because we've got aircon in work, but I don't think I will just in case the tank does go mental.
That is it's going to break record. It will break a record. It's hotter than.
I think they should give us a day off work. We shouldn't have to work in that.
Well,
schools will be closed when they
schools are doing half days. A lot of them now. Or not a lot of them, but some of them are doing half days. So the kids go till dinner time, and then they're leaving because of the hottest part of the day is usually like 3-4 o'clock into here.
Listen, when driving a bus, it's like being in a greenhouse, mate. I'm sweating. It's like being in a greenhouse because you remember you've got like the plastic door which is protecting you and stuff like that. So it's like being encased in like a greenhouse.
They don't even move in Manchester, the buses. That's the problem. They're starting traffic.
And you know what they do? You know what most bus companies do? Is they take out the air conditioning units out of them. So there's no aircon. There's no aircon in to save because they save on fuel.
Have you not got a little fan in your cab, where your cab is?
And he can put ice blocks in the front.
It'll blow warm air, won't it? I'm gonna have to buy some
ice blocks. Ice blocks.
Yeah.
Are you working Monday, Tuesday? Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, mate. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I tell you what, Steve. I was up Covent Garden on Monday night, and for some reason we got a bus back to the station, and we got a bus to the theatre as well. My God, it was hot on the bus, and this was like 6:30 in the evening. I thought we got off the train, which was aircon, walked along, jumped on the bus, and it was like all of a sudden just hit us. And I thought of you, and I'm thinking, gee. Yeah, and of course, the closer you go to the back of the bus, it's even worse because the bloody engine's there, isn't it?
The engine's there.
Yeah. So, I did think of you thinking driving around that.
Yeah. And it's 4, and you're on it. You're not just on it for like an hour. You're on it 4.5 hours, 4 or 5 hours stints, mate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's going to be tough that on Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be tough that.
Can I ask you something? It's not reefing related at all, right? But you're my only friend who drives buses, and you might know the answer. Why the hell do you not wear a seatbelt on a bus? But everything else, you have to wear a seatbelt. What's that all about?
You do have to if there's one actually in the cab, you have to wear it.
But no buses have seatbelts. But a coach.
They do. Yeah, they do.
Do they?
They do.
Your bus has seatbelts on it.
Some of them do. Yeah. There's different ones like the older style, like the B7s and the B9s. I'm not going to go into if you want to check what a
B7 I remember the B7. They were good.
The B7s and B9s. They don't have seatbelts in, but like the Enviros and stuff like the Enviro 300s and stuff.
Is yours electric, your bus?
Yeah. They're mixed electric. Yeah, they need them. They've got them. But
very good.
So a lot of the drivers don't use it, and the reason is when you're taking money off customers, you've got to turn your body side, towards them.
Not you. I'm on about the passengers.
Oh, the passengers. I thought you meant me. Oh, right.
I thought you'd be wearing a seatbelt all the time.
No, do you heck? Bus drivers don't have them. No.
What?
No.
I did not know that. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
A lot of the buses.
You don't take money anymore. It's all contactless, isn't it?
It's all contactless where we are.
Listen. We're in Manchester. We're about 7-8 years behind everybody else, mate. You know what I mean? Listen, we shouldn't be taking money, but trust me, we could go on about this, and I'll sound like Boris Johnson if I was carrying on. You know what I mean? So
welcome to tonight's live stream on Manchester Bus.
Yeah, welcome to Manchester Bus live. with Blakey. What's the other ones on Off the Buzzes? Where's Olive?
Oh yeah, Blake. Yeah, Jake can be Olive.
She wore a hairnet, didn't she?
With his hairnet.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, it's all right, mate. You're welcome.
Yeah. Anyway, just a question.
I can't remember what he was talking about. What was he talking?
We were talking about temperature before that.
Oh right, yeah. Before we went on the buses.
Getting ready for your 40 degrees. You'll be all right, Paul. You'll be the Max Nana Peninsula will be fine. Don't you worry.
That won't be wet by then.
Exactly. It's already evaporated out of yours, so you're all right.
Absolutely. I haven't got to worry about temperature swings just yet.
Imagine if you had that little ATO on though, you'd be topping it up every 6 hours. With the amount of evaporation.
Would be pouring water in, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right. Yeah. So you got 38 degrees up in Chesterfield.
Wow. Yeah, it's a risk.
Poor Hayley, 12 hours in a care home, constantly sweat baths. Oh man,
There's no air conditioning for the rest. There's got to be. They're saying that
most places haven't got aircon now, have they?
No.
You've got new offices
because we don't get heat, do we? You know what I mean? This is unprecedented, mate.
I've been preaching about climate change for 20 years in the classroom. No one listens to you, right?
Hold on a minute. It's only out of those 20 years. It's only 2 days. That's going to be boiling hot, mate. You know what I mean?
We're hotter than Europe, though. It's just crazy times.
Yeah. We're hotter than Australia.
We can go to Spain and cool down at the moment. Go.
But they've had. Was it Portugal earlier this week? It was 47 degrees.
Wow.
I think it was yesterday or the day before. 47, which I think was I don't think it's a record or not. It was close to it. I mean, that is. Can you imagine 47?
Yeah, it's unbearable.
I mean,
40 is unbearable.
They've got aircon and the houses are built to stay cool and stuff like that. We'd have the rails and the pavements melting and everything, wouldn't we?
Oh, mate, the whole country will shut down if it got to that over here. Swear to God.
We need our best game on for Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I agree.
Be prepared.
Yeah. Right, let's see what we've got.
Sweating my tits off.
Steve needs a medal for being a bus driver when it's hot.
Cheers, Paul. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
And a gas mask for Hayley.
He needs a medal to have been a bus driver anyway. Never mind when it's off.
There you go, 28 degrees in Scotland next week. So AB Reef, will you be out cutting the grass in 28
What will they do? I mean, they wear in Scotland, they wear shorts when it's 10 degrees, never mind 28. You're going to be going back there.
Yeah, there you go. Spain and Portugal having wildfire. Now, I saw some stuff yesterday morning. There was wildfires in this country. There were some people on the beach, and there was a video of there was some growth and some trees and that was on fire. So people have been having it in this country as well.
Yeah, it's crazy times. But I'm enjoying the nice summer weather. Like today's been beautiful, hasn't it?
Yeah,
like it's been 20 odd degrees, but nice breeze. It's dead nice today.
Yeah.
Using cooling fans.
One aircon unit in the residence lounge, but they are all late 90s and constantly cold, so you can't turn it on. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but so all the workers need it, but the residents don't.
Well, that's what happens when like babies and old people they can't regulate temperature, can they?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. In Australia, it's 20, but then it's winter in Australia.
Yeah, it's winter over there, isn't it?
To us.
Yeah. But yeah. Most places are going to be cooler than us.
It'll be for about 2. I mean, we've had quite a lot of hot weather where we are. I don't moan about it. I think it's nice. I'm just concerned about the tank. If I want to keep cool, I just go out the garden and spray yourself with water and stuff like that, and you're sorted, aren't you?
Yeah. It's true, though. Yeah.
Italy,
you know what? This is the ironic thing is we all complain about a little bit.
We won't be British if we complain about it.
And yet we spend thousands of pounds to go abroad to get some heat, don't we? You know what I mean? That's what we do. So it's like
it's different when you're not working. When you're abroad, you're enjoying it. Whereas here, you sat on your bus in 40 degrees, like obviously.
Listen, in that cab, if it goes to 35 degrees outside temperature. In that cab, I bet you it'll be around 44, 45, 44, 45.
What are the unions saying, Steve? I'm sure you know what the unions are saying.
No doubt about it, mate.
If it goes to 35 in the cab, I'm sure you can stop the bus.
A few years back, about 4 to 5 years ago and all that, they had a thingy with the unions saying that if it went above if it went above 90 degrees, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, buses had to be stopped or they had to be like reduced. Drivers couldn't drive in that heat, you know what I mean? And then somebody came up in the union and the big wigs there saying, "Oh, you can't do that. What about people getting home from work and all that? Not about us, like the drivers dying on the bus because it's that hot." You know what I mean?
No, you're all right. Make sure you get home.
Let's just get all the workers home, and forget about the drivers. You know what I'm saying? So
you could be at home listening to your Tunsy pump.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather be doing that.
You've been moaning about that, so you might as well be moaning in your cab.
Oh dear.
I do feel for you, mate. I'm only joking.
Yeah, I appreciate it, mate.
There was a comment earlier on about someone's got, the frag plugs that are cone shape. Someone's saying about how do you cut those back? You can use cutters because I've used them. They're a bit of a pain, but you can use the cutters to shrink them because they're quite easy to cut. So because I don't think they're hollow, but either way, I can't remember what it was now. And it's so far up, I'd never find it. But yeah, you can use cutters to cut them back. They're quite often on Zoa plugs, aren't they? Those cone ones.
I've snapped my cutters because that's what I used. I used the cutters, but then the spring snapped on them, which is not very good.
No, you do ones. Well, you should Boreans.
Oh yeah, that's the coral. That's the coral cutting kit. I was on about these. They're like pliers, aren't they? But the reef cutters, these here. Look.
Oh yeah, the garden shears.
Well, no, they're actually. They're
a
bit rusty, to be fair.
They're heavy duty, but you busted them.
I can't believe they've rusted. Look, they're proper reefing ones, but they've actually rusted.
Yeah, but you're supposed after you use them, you're supposed to rinse them in.
The
salt water.
That little disclaimer. I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Because you used to have a spring there, so it used to like spring out, but obviously that corroded after about a day.
Yeah, there's a spring probably. Oh my god! Yeah, so tip of the day: if you've got cutters or anything like that, rinse them in tap water once you've used them, and they're fine. They won't go rusty, Jay. A bit late now, I know, but
another thing as well is, has anybody ever finished a tube of reef glue? Because every time I use mine, I use a bit of it. And then I can't get the lid off, or it's stuck. The actual lid sticks that much, and then I have to try and get it off, and then it ripped the blooming tube.
Yeah,
you actually use the whole tube of them before it actually it sticks everything solid.
Get a pair of scissors to the bottom of it and cut it.
Well, no, but why can't you just use it properly?
Most plastic caps come off. Most plastic caps are like that, mate. It might even happen on my Gorilla Glue. It happens the same, but I couldn't get the top off it. So I have to
glue the top on before you finish using it.
I know, right, Jay, most of them do it, mate.
The tip, keep it in the fridge. I've got Ecotech glue.
Yeah.
Once it's opened, I keep it in the fridge. It lasts all year round. The lid doesn't go, doesn't get stuck. Seriously? Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. There you go. Paul's tip of the day.
I'll tell you what, people, you're getting tips. You're getting tips.
You're getting a load of useless tips tonight.
So I use one tub of glue. It's about 20 quid, which is quite expensive. And that lasts me, depending on how much fragging I do. That can last me 6 months later. It'll still be fine. All I've got to do is shake the bottle, and the lid won't be stuck.
Yeah. I've never got. I end up buying a new one nearly every time I do a job with that stuff because it just goes off
in the fridge. Just make sure you don't use it for something else, of course. But yeah, keep it.
Yeah.
Should I put it next to the Phyto and the Buddy and the Copepods and everything else that's in the fridge as well?
Yeah.
But we'll just get rid of the fridge for like food and we'll just have all the reefing stuff in it.
So the fridge is full of glue and the fridge is full of mices.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You don't have a normal fridge when you've got a reef tank, do you? It's all taken over.
Or a dog like mine, I had to buy an extra freezer to put the dog's food in it. That's how bad mine is, mate. You know what I mean? Believe
freeze
that.
Dog's food?
Yeah, freezer for the dog's food. Because I thought, because he's on raw meat, eats raw meat. My dog.
Yeah.
He's a raw meat dog, but he has like a kilo. He has a kilo of meat. He has a kilo of meat, a day.
Oh God, Steve! Imagine cleaning that up, that mess when he's. That's horrendous.
A kilo of meat.
It's horrible.
Hey, listen, he's like, what is it? He's a 9 stone. He's just 13 months old. He's 9 stone.
9. You sure it's a dog and not a freaking lion? I think you've been missold it. I think.
Yeah, I bought him off eBay.
I bought him off eBay. Thought he was getting a dog.
Send it back. Got as described.
Yeah. You sold me something that wasn't. You know,
took him like half a deer in the garden or something, just chewing on that.
Yeah.
What's going on here, Steve?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What is it? Is he here? Oh, there he is.
He's here.
He's like,
Watch out.
There he is. Look, he's knowing you're slagging him off.
What's that? Watch him be like a chihuahua.
There he is. Look at him.
Good chihuahua.
Yeah.
Oh God. He looks a bit lethargic, Steve, after all that raw meat.
It looks like he's been watching the live stream.
Yeah.
He's watching the live stream.
He's knowing yours. He can hear you slagging him off. So he's like, who's that guy saying that? Yeah.
Oh, God.
With the hairnet.
Yeah, with the hairnet. Oh, mate.
Oh dear, I think I might get back to the comments.
Right, go back to the reefing.
Sorry, people. We know it's about reefing, but we talked about everything. We talked about geography, dogs, lions, everything.
You need to wipe the end. All right.
Yeah, you need to wipe the end.
What are we on about here?
You do that, Jay.
I've never wiped the end. No, that's why it's.
All right, moving on to the next one. There we go. Stick a pin in it. Basically, stick a pin in it, Jay.
Stick a pin. Yeah. We're still talking about the reef glue, aren't we? Yeah. No, I don't like it. No, because it's like once you put a bit of pressure on it, it starts oozing out all the time. So I'm like, God, as I put a lid on it quick. Otherwise, have you had that reef glue on your fingers? Have you ever had that reef glue on your fingers? Oh my God. You have to go to work for 3 days and people are like, what's up with your hands? Yeah, like, I haven't got a skin disease, it's reef glue.
You should get the Ecotech one. It's expensive, but it'll last you months and months and months. And it stops oozing is all I can say.
Yeah, it oozes that one, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the Ecotech one doesn't. But there we go. Right, what have we got? I think I've answered that one. Tips for cutting. The coral cutters. So that's how we got onto the coral cutters.
Yeah. All right.
Right at the top, clean film before putting the lid back on. There's a tip there, Jay. I'm getting all the tips here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But mine just oozes. I put obviously too much pressure on the tube, but it's just oozing.
Right. I don't think they're hollow. I don't think those cones are hollow.
No, they're not. Not the ones that I've cut. I don't think.
Yeah. My wife hates me for putting things on.
Yeah.
Well, this takes over. I've got a little shelf in the door. It's all reefing.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Next to the dog meat.
Next to the dog meat, yeah.
This looks like a butcher's shop window. Your fridge.
Should open maybe a zoo in my house. You know what I mean?
Someone's not going to don't want to cut your grass there, Steve.
Oh God!
Hey, I haven't got grass actually. Well, I've got part of one, but I've got mainly a yard, so it's not too bad. But I take him out in the morning before I go to work, depending on what time, and then in the evening. So he does his thing there, you know. What I mean? His thing there, yeah. So it's all right, mate. It's not bad. It's all right. Hey, it's true though. It's true though. The grumpy reefer is exactly right here. You know, they actually poo less on a raw meat diet, and it's true because they're taking all the proteins and everything and all the goodness out of it meat. Whereas all that dry food, what you feed your dogs, yeah,
it's not as good as it.
I'm not going to go into it, but you read up what it is, mate. Yeah, seriously, what a lot of it is, yeah. It's you'll be blown away with what goes into that.
I guess it's like wheat and corn and all that, isn't
it? Mate, and it's dead animal carcasses and all that, mate, ground up. Trust me, I've checked into it.
What do you mean? Sounds like your fridge is full of dead animal carcasses.
No, not in raw meat. No, not. I mean, like as in like
all these deer.
Not the best.
All these wild deer. I bet he stops at the side of the road if he sees something dead. He's like, "I'll take that for the dog."
All the cats in the neighbourhood.
This pheasant will be perfect. It's 720.
In Manchester, you've never seen a pheasant.
Listen, hey, I drive up Huddersfield, mate, on the 184. I've seen loads of pheasants.
184. Is that grouse country, the 184?
That's grouse country, mate. Yeah, it's up Saddleworth Moor, that up on the Saddleworth on the hills and all
that,
mate.
Go to Yorkshire to find a patch of grass by the looks of it.
Up to Yorkshire, you're right, mate. Absolutely. Yeah.
You're making Hayley's head hurt, Jay.
It's making my head hurt, to be honest, as well. Yeah. Like a bit of Friday. A message. When are you doing? Oh, the AAC. That's. I'm going to go down for Bank Holiday weekend. So the Friday, I think, either the Friday or the Monday. But I'll let you know. I don't know what date that is, but yeah. Because if I'm going on the Monday, I can come back and I can pick some up and then come home with it. So Monday's probably going to be better, I think. Whereas the Friday, I'll go and I won't be able to buy anything because I'm going to Kent.
Yeah, I can't believe you won't go there and buy something, Jay.
Do you reckon? Oh, right, okay. So I'll be going on the Bank Holiday Monday then. Is it open? I hope it's open.
It will be. No, it will be open.
Will it? I'll go there.
We'll phone Christian to tell him to word him up, not to tell him any SPS colours that he don't want.
I'll put them in the basket and be like, put them back.
Yeah, I spoke to Christine about that. You can't put them in.
Well, yeah. But it's bad.
No, you know what though. You know what though. Yeah, not many sellers will do that though, and you've got to appreciate that though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It saves my money and it saves the life of the coal, doesn't it? So it's
exactly.
It's good in both ways.
It's a win-win, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
really.
Well, instead of selling him a £40 SPS, he's selling a £200 Goni.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't want that one. You'll kill it. Have this one. You'll keep this one alive, Jay.
Go with the LPS. That's the most expensive bracket of corals, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolute genius.
It is. I mean, when you think of it, yeah, LPS. I think the majority of LPS is the higher end is where the money is.
More expensive.
At this moment in time, it is. I mean, all right, you could get like SPS, like super SPS pieces, for like 140, 130, 140. You know, like imported from. Or like grow out ones, and stuff. But they're only like little 1-inch pieces, aren't they? And tiny little frags and stuff. But you could get a nice, like you said, torch. And I've seen those banana torches and those finger torches.
Oh, the tiger torch.
The tiger torch.
The tiger torch went around, was it like 6 months ago?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. No,
I never heard of it either.
See, when it said, when it said a tiger torch, I thought it was like a bit of black, like the stripe of a tiger,
like your dog,
black and orange, like my dog. You know what I mean? Like black and orange or something. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought. And then I looked at it and I'm like,
what colour was it?
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's got green on it.
It's got a little bit of green.
That's a tiger then, isn't it?
It's got a little bit of green in it, but it's mainly
it's mainly orange and yellow, isn't it? I never heard of them 12 months ago. I was like, all right. But now people talk about it.
Those look nice though.
Really nice, to be fair. But a lot of money though, weren't it? They
do look amazing.
£500 in it.
Was that one head or was that a couple of heads?
Yeah, that's like with
single head.
With a torch. There's two things with a torch, isn't there? I don't think I'd buy a single head one, in the risk that if it died, then you're left with nothing. But if you got two, it's like you spread the risk, don't you? And then the other thing is if the amount of white flesh. It's got to be thick for it to have a chance, really. If it's not, so you got to be able to see the white flesh and how much that kind of it's a good sign for health, isn't it? That. So, yeah.
Well, funny you should say that because my obviously with the temperature of the tank going up, I was at work and my main display went up to, I think it was 26.7 or something. So it wasn't. I wasn't that concerned.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't that concerned. But I do run it. I run it at 25.5, 25.8. So it's by about a degree and a bit. Yeah. Everything was fine when I came home. Everything was like looking all right. But the only thing that didn't look too good was the Holy Moly Grail. Yeah. The Holy Moly Grail.
Yeah.
It curled up in itself. So I'm like. Right, I said. So I'm thinking to myself, is it because it's too close to the anemone? So I thought, well, we'll give it a couple of days. Anyway, a day goes by, still curled up, not the same. Another day goes by, still. I'm like, whoa, this.
So it's clearly stressed then.
Yeah,
it's stressed out to death. Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell? So I took it out and I dipped it to see if there was anything on it. You know what I mean? Just in case, like. And I put it on the sandbed now. I put it like in the corner where it's not too much light, tons of light, but also where there's not like that, an enemy's nowhere near it, and let it try to recover. Do you know what I mean? And that was like 2 days ago, and it's still not the same. Still like peed off.
Really?
So
I'm not happy.
I think that might be a devastating loss to me. I think, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I've tried everything, so I don't know what it is. I don't know whether the temperature got a little bit too hot for that one, even though all the others are fine.
Yeah.
Or whether something's irritated it, or whether maybe that an enemy stung it and it's not, and I've not seen it. Obviously, I don't know. But I just can't get that enemy out. You know what I mean? I cannot get it out for the love of money.
When a torch head takes a turn, it's hard to get it back into. That's the thing with torch head.
Yeah, so hard, mate. So I'm a bit gutted about that, but only time will tell whether it survives. You know what I mean? It's a 2-header that as well. So,
fingers crossed, because that's like.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to lose, mate, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a comment that said about AAC are not usually open on Mondays, but I think they're usually open. They're open bank holiday Mondays. I'm sure they've been open the last couple of bank holidays. But yeah,
have a chat with him, Paul, next time you're in.
I'll find out.
To go and check on your yellow tag. You're going to go say hello to it so it recognises you.
Yeah. Tell him won't really come back.
Tell him if he opens on the bank holiday Monday, Jay will come in with a suit on.
I think you're trying to sell me.
All right.
Yeah. They got a car park, so you're all right, Jay.
Oh, that's good. That is good. Don't have to park in some random area.
No, I was thinking about who you might meet.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. It's a bit dodgier in Ripley, where Sig's Fred. The car park around the corner there.
Right, is a tool station do a cheap good gel super glue?
Oh. I just like getting ripped off with the word reef on everything that I get. I tried to find citric acid with reef on it, but they don't do it.
If you get food grade, you're okay.
Well, yeah. I have done it. It's on its way on Sunday.
You ordered it in the end, right? There's a comment there about Prestige Reef. He was on
Steve Ryan Prestige
channel. Said he doesn't like
to. I did see that, yeah. I watched it. I did see that comment. Yeah.
I know.
He should have known, innit? You know what I mean? I suppose, but it's not. It doesn't see the fascination, but he still sells them on his website, doesn't he? So you know, at the end of the day, if it's not fascination with him, he's still selling them. So, and he's selling them for crazy prices. So
because
at the end of the day,
high demand.
It's high demand. But I suppose it's each to their own. Of like, he doesn't see the fascination with his torches, you know what I mean? Because he likes other things, doesn't he, that Ryan? You know what I mean? So
he likes mushrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, he likes the mushrooms and all that, yeah.
I'm not fussed.
So for him,
I look at a bounce mushroom and I think, so what? But then other people absolutely love them.
See, I do look at bounce mushrooms and I think, wow, then they are. I had one dinner. He got stung and all that. And I see some of them and I think, wow, you know, like some of them are beautiful. But in my tank, certain mushrooms do well, but when I bought that bounce mushroom, it done fantastic. But then all of a sudden, I don't know whether it's because the water was too clean.
Yeah, they like dirtier water, don't they?
Oh yeah, I believe they like slightly dirtier water, higher nutrients, higher phosphates. So, for me, it's like, I mean, some people might disagree with that and say, no, I've got nothing in my tank and my mushrooms are fine. But from what I've read and what I've seen on forums and stuff like that, a lot of the good mushrooms, they tend to do well in dirtier water.
They do.
You know, for me, I don't know. It's I would like another one, but I wouldn't pay the price.
Did yours melt then, Steve?
No, it did melt. Got stung, didn't it? Stung again. Don't talk to me about that, mate. My missus still thinks it's alive. I said it's at the back of the tank. I had no room for it.
I still think torches are my favourite overall coral. I love them.
So, Steve, a good comment here about bacteria infections. Have you tried taking it out and dipping it? Because you can dip it in iodine. You dipped it in iodine.
You've given it a reef. Yeah, iodine dip. Yeah,
I dipped it in. I dipped it twice in both, but I've dipped it in that. Oh, the Bright World's Aquatics dip. You know, the one that I've shown before.
Not refresh, is it?
No, you know the one in the bottom. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. I'll dig it out. I'll show you. It's there, but it's in my other cupboard. I used that first, and then I dipped it in an iodine dip as well. Obviously after it, not for long, because I knew there was no bugs in it. There's going to be no bugs on it whatsoever. But I just thought, has it been stung by the anemone? And if it has, even if I lose one head, at least I've got the other head to survive. Do you know what I mean? So I dipped it in that to see if it'll recoup for like 3 minutes or so. I left it in 2 or 3 minutes, and then pulled it out, rinsed it in the normal salt water out the tank, and then I stuck it back in the bottom. Now the both heads have survived. They're both. You can still see the flesh and all that, but they're just not coming out. They're not flowing. You know what I mean? So I really don't know what the problem is really, or whether it's going to recover. But so far, I've not seen any melting or anything like that. So I don't know. We'll have to. It's just going to be a waiting game, I think. See what happens with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you what, I have seen quite a bit recently around torches. If people buying them online and they're dying, and when they look into it, and they're buying them from chop shops, and then the sellers are ignoring them. And if you pay by and I know one person who it happened to, and I spoke to, I think they was going to do it anyway. They pay by PayPal. They raised a claim on PayPal, and they got the money back. Because don't believe you must open it within an hour, blah, blah, blah. That is rubbish. And if you pay by PayPal and you raise a case, you got a really good chance of getting your money back. So that's what they're trying. I'm not saying it's illegal, but it's not in line with consumer rights. Because on the distance selling, you can, if you get something within 14 days, you can return it. Now it's maybe a slightly different with a coral, but that 1 hour thing is nonsense. It's just a way of you not being able to make a claim.
And I've always wondered that, you know, because you know when you buy off any seller, for instance, and they say if you look at it in the container and it looks all right, but then you put it in your tank and then it starts to melt. Oh, well, you can't get your money back because you put it in your tank. Yeah, but it was only in my tank for like 30 seconds, and it was like that. You know what I mean? So I can never understand. Remember, it's been in a container for how many hours? You know what I mean? And then you know, you look at it, you're like, oh, I don't know. So what is the choice? Is the choice right? Well, I'm not going to open it because it looks bad. Or if I take it out, I might put it in there in the tank, and it might open up, and it might be perfect. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? That's probably the reason why I've never really bought online. To be fair, I know because you just it's not only that. It's just like I like to see my coral as well. You know what I'm buying as well.
Absolutely. So, I mean, some people are quite a way away from LFS, so it's quite difficult, isn't it, for them to
absolutely
to do that. But I wouldn't say it's go as far as a con, because I think people are copying other people because they see it. But you can definitely get your money back, and you don't have to worry about the 1 hour. If you raise a case on, if you pay by friends and family on PayPal, you haven't got a leg to stand on. It has to be goods and services on PayPal. Yeah. Even if you're not using eBay, you can use PayPal, and you get buyer protection.
That is really good.
Yeah.
So another tip is open a PayPal account.
I use PayPal anyway, because I've got it I used to sell things on eBay, and also if I do pay, I pay by PayPal. And they say I want it friends and family, I'd actually pay a bit more money, because I think you get charged like 20 pence plus a percentage of it. It's not much, even like 50 quid. It's worth doing that just because you know you've got protection. Because friends and family, they can ignore you. You ain't got a leg to stand on. But if they ignore you, which they did to this person, you just raise a case, and then with a certain number of days, you'd have to say the person's not responded, they're ignoring me. They'll review the case. 9 times out of 10, they'll go in your favour, and you'll get your money back.
That's good, though. Yeah.
So I was on Instagram, and someone was moaning about that, and there was a seller of someone on eBay, and they was moaning about buyers and things like that. They put some cases up. I then went on the Instagram and said, "You're wrong." I then got banned from that Instagram. He shut me out because he was wrong.
I've seen. I don't know the name of the seller, but I've seen this seller with these torches.
Yeah.
And basically, it's just a torch on a frag plug thrown in a bag.
Yeah.
So there's no one.
They're clean cuts as well. So first of all,
no wonder they're dying. They're not even
don't travel very well.
No.
First of all, then also you need to secure it. So the usual where you got your you got a little pot or your pots, and you put it upside down, and it's secure. And thirdly, you need to have it established, and it needs to be able to. You need to be able to have it been settled, because if you just fail, because the bacteria will get infection and everything else.
I swear to God, no matter like the way like I put my frag plugs in my sump and let the beneficial bacteria get onto them.
Yeah.
I swear to God, when I frag my stuff, everything, and I mean everything, survives, whether I dip them or whether I iodine dip it or whatever from a cup. And I think it's because of the bacteria that's already on the frag plug. When you glue it and all that, you stick it on. Whether it's zoas or whether it's a torch coral or anything, everything seems to survive because I don't know whether it's the bacteria or it must be something to do with the bacteria, rather than just going on a normal frag plug that you pulled out your cupboard. You know what I mean? And it just helps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, sometimes I've seen some of them where the frag plugs are as white, and sellers are selling them. And you're like, he's just done that yesterday or a couple of days ago.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And whenever I frag stuff, I usually put it up in the sump. Because you don't get any flow overnight, so it settles, it goes onto the frag plug, and then I take it out and put it back in and display the next day. And I found that works a lot, especially on chalices, because otherwise they get kicked around, the sand goes on them, or they get blown off and blown over, and then they just don't survive. So I find more chance of putting them in the sump and then taking them out. So someone's put there, it does make a difference. If you pay friends and family, that is seen as a payment to friends and family. So it's not goods and services. Your protection is for your goods and services.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought a light once on eBay. It came to me and it was rubbish. And so it wasn't as described. I went to return it and the guy goes, no, on the listing it says no returns allowed. So I then raised the case, and they found in my favour, because the distance selling law is you can return something within 14 days, whether it's faulty or not. And if it is faulty or not as described, you can take longer than that.
If you're buying a torch, go and look at it, look at the colours and pick it up, because it's just so much better than getting it posted. It's not worth the risk. You're spending a lot of money. Just go and get it.
But also, I've seen some people do, you can have the money back, but you can't have your postage. You're entitled to your postage back. And I've seen others say, I will give you credit and not your money back. Again, that's wrong. They should be reimbursing you for both the postage and the price of the thing. I get a real bee in my bonnet about it, because I know they're ripping people off, and it's so annoying when they've done that. And so they're just trying it on. And then the fact they say they'll give you store credit is crap as well.
You can see he works in finance, can't you?
I know, because I run an eBay account and I sold about 1,000 items. And if someone had a problem, I just gave them the money back straight away. So I could have got conned. I think I might have got done once or twice.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if you're really honest, you're on it and you give people I say, do you want to keep the goods? Yeah. What kind of condition it is? I'll give them half the money back or whatever, depending on what we agreed. Or I just do them a full refund. And if it was a real cheap item, I'd say keep the item. Because you find there's less hassle and you get more sales, people coming back to you, than if you faff people off, basically.
Yeah.
So I just
there you go.
To do with torches, really, just shed and cutting them up and selling them fresh.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on a lot of coals, but definitely not on torches.
No.
Right. So what else have we got on here as comments? Well, there's one up here, flatworm stop. I don't have flatworms, but it sure does put flesh on your corals. So this is the one, I'm trying to think of the make of this one. It's a German one in the blue bottle. Is that the one? Because what it's supposed to do, it helps the flesh, it builds up the health of the coral. They're more resistant to the flatworm. But I can't remember the name of the German company, if it's that one I'm thinking of.
Wow, never know. Bloody hell.
Flatworm stop.
Yeah.
Corellan Zuscht. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's it.
Yeah, I used the Coral Snow.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's a really good company.
Oh, yeah, look at the price.
KZ, yeah. Their stuff's expensive, but I've used it for not that for cyno, but I've used Coral Snow, cyno something other. They've got It's a really good German company. What they're very, very bad at is marketing and telling you how you should use their products. If they did, they've been around donkey's years, and some of their products are really good. But the problem is they're crap at communicating. So people look at it and think, well, how the hell do I use it? But they're pretty good for starting up tanks and putting bacteria into your tank as well. It's best delivery for coal is by hand by Paul. So I have been known to deliver to people's doorsteps. Oh yeah, with Julie, I've met her at Upminster Station quite a few occasions.
Yeah. Must be a nightmare now these train strikes are on. I bet you can't get rid of any coral.
Right. So I think I'm out of questions. I mean, out of comments. So anyone got any questions? So I've got 10 minutes left. I'm just going to go back to see if I've missed something, because I usually have missed something.
What was case in point? Haley said, case in point, read Prestige Reef's dead on arrival policy.
So I don't know what he's. So I don't know if he's got a 1 hour DOA policy. Maybe he has. I don't know.
Is that what it is?
Looked.
Right.
I don't know. But to be fair to him, every issue that's been happening, if you have an issue with a coral with Prestige Reef, he is happy to refund it. So it wasn't Prestige Reef. It was an eBay seller, wasn't it, Paul? Who was doing
I don't know if it's I'm not sure if it's an eBay. It's certainly the person's on Insta.
On Instagram, maybe. Yeah.
The person lives about 10 miles away from where I am.
I've never even heard of him.
And he's got a shed at the end of his garden. I'm not saying that shed sellers are bad. They just don't have as good a reputation.
Well, we met a good shed seller, didn't we, last week? Steve?
Yeah, on the absolutely.
Did, mate.
Yeah, ocean corals, awesome.
Anybody, like I said, is in the market for zoas. He's the man. I think he's definitely the king of zoas. Awesome. He's definitely one of the kings of zoas. He knows his zoas for sure. So I did go on his Instagram, obviously, following him and stuff. But just took a finger, and I'm like, wow. Like some of the photos that he took are like incredible. I need one of those cameras that he got. I've been looking at him, those Olympus TG6. Yeah, the TG6 that go underwater and all that. I think they look fantastic.
Yeah. A lot of the coral sellers have that Olympus.
They use them, don't they? Yeah, and they're well worth it, I think. So, yeah, I'm definitely good at looking at it. Maybe when I get off. In fact, I was going to get one before going all day, because then when I go like diving, scuba diving, and all that in the sea, and everything, I thought I could take it with me and film it, underneath, see what fish I can see and stuff. So
you won't see much in Skegness, mate.
No. True. Yeah.
Unless John's on, he might tell us something different. He goes scuba diving in Skegness.
So just going back to Haley, I think it was DOA 3 hours.
Yeah.
Your postage fees are not refundable. I'm going to get really anal on this one. The Consumer Credit Act that covers that, if your item's faulty, you're entitled to see your postage back.
There you go.
And it says that in the black and white, because I looked it up because I was having an argument with this guy on Instagram and I wanted to make sure I was right, and I was. But so I was really sad. I looked up the regulation for it.
Come up with all these things in the contracts, but then what you're saying is sometimes they're not legally binding.
Absolutely, and maybe people don't know, because when people are putting sales on eBay and stuff like that, they'll look at other people's terms and conditions and they'll copy them. So I'm not saying they knowingly flout what someone's entitled to. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
It could be that just by innocent, they copy someone else because everyone else does it that way. All I know is from what I've seen in black and white, what you're entitled to.
But Ryan's corals are...
Yeah, he's got a
unbelievably good, and I've never known anybody to complain about the customer service is done.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's running a good operation there.
Absolutely. Mogsy, are you still making your own fish food?
I have done a video. What I've done, guys, is I've done a few videos because obviously I go away. So I've done it. So when you watch a video, it might be like 2 weeks recorded beforehand. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I post them out, it won't be like that week or whatever. It might be 2 weeks before. But I have done one where I've shown exactly what I bought, what I put in, how I blended it, what I mixed with it, and stuff like that. So I've done one specific on how I made it. Yeah. So and then just basically sealed. So the fish absolutely love it, and like I said, I think Nick mentioned about squid with the iodine. It contains iodine.
That's
so
right, yeah.
So what I do, squid, believe it or not, it's hard to find. You know what I mean? You've got to go to I had to go to Berry Market to go to Berry Market to pick a squid up. You know what I mean? Because you just can't find them. You know what I mean? So
oh, really, we got a wet fish store at the end of our road.
Yeah, you're lucky, mate. I live in Manchester
fantastic.
in the suburbs, mate. It's the depths of beyond. Yeah, no, it's
Well, I'm not by a trawler.
You think there'd be a fish market in Manchester, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, there is better. Berry Market. Yeah, it's the closest one to me, really. Yeah, so so I just got that. Yeah, and like I said, just chop it up. It's more expensive, but it does about two and a half bags. It does, you know, decent size zip bags, and then I just flatten it down and put it in the freezer along with the dog food.
Yeah. So you got your glue, your dog food, and then your fish foods. You got a whole rack of reefing gear.
In one of the freezers, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just going back to sales, and Nick will be doing live stream sales when the calls, come into stock. So
I hope it's calls.
Orals.
Within about 5 seconds, he's corrected.
Live stream orals.
He knows oh my good God. Starting him off again.
live stream orals. Oh my!
I mean, that's quite a niche service, but I can see it making some money.
And there we go. The reason why we're doing it. He's doing what you see is what you get as well.
Oh, there you go then. See if you're not happy.
And it can be shipped or collected. Sorry, I'm just fanning the flames here. I apologise, Nick, for my colleague.
Oh, Nick, that's a good one.
Oh, mate, right, okay. What you lot.
There you go.
We need that. Is that so? That's going to be like a tidal gardens type thing, I'm guessing.
That'd be good though, wouldn't it? It must be
it would be
good. You got to get.
You can see he's cleaning the med. Yeah, that's probably true. Actually, there's a lot of blue flag beaches on the east coast now.
East Coast.
It's full of wind turbines. That's what Skegness is full of.
Yeah, it's blowing the crap out to sea.
He's blowing the crap out to sea. Very good, Steve.
And the tea bags and all that.
All the litter.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Mate, what are they like?
Wish I knew this when I received calls that were sent on the wrong day. Came a day before I asked them to be. So I'm assuming Southeast Reef, you wasn't expecting them and they died.
Yeah. And it's expensive losses, isn't it? No matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not your it's not your fault. That's the risk of selling online, isn't it? You sell something, it gets busted or something like that. I mean, shops have risks, don't they? You know, people nicking from them. Actually, around Essex, there's been 2 or 3 different LFS that have had their cold trays and their fish tanks spiked, where people have been putting stuff into metal.
You know what? Yeah,
that is really scummy, isn't it?
It's just evil.
Yeah,
They did it at Oasis. Somebody put a penny, you know, 1 pence piece in the coral tray. Well, in the actual overflow, you know, the overflow. And like they start, and it lost like load of, and they was like, what in the hell? And they couldn't work it out. Because it was in like the old. Yeah, and anyway, they stripped it all out, checked it, and they checked, and it was somebody had dropped a penny. You know what I mean? Like, how you see, that wouldn't have been a kid, because a kid would have just dropped it in the display tank, wouldn't it? You know, like he was messing about or whatever.
They would never
have put it in an overflow. Yeah. That's an adult, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I hate people like that.
That's awful, though, isn't it? Because people, it's not just the fact of the animals, it's the stress of that, but also what it does to the shop and the thousands of pounds they've got. And everything else. I mean.
Yeah. Southeast Reefer, did you get a refund or not? Be interested to know.
Yeah, fair point. Right, let's go down. There we go. So they got adults only sign up.
Adults only sign up. Yeah. That was a good one, that one.
Yeah, no Julie tonight, so Aquarian's keeping time for us here.
Where is Julie tonight?
I saw a picture on Instagram. I think she's out in a caravan or something. She's on holiday at the moment.
Oh, she's on holiday, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got expensive loss. I asked for special delivery to ride the Thursday rather than Wednesday. I was
yeah, some yob. What's the one below? The one below it, Steve. Some yob at my local caught 3 large koi, dumped them in with smaller fish and filmed it. Mad, innit?
That is scum.
Yeah, they're scum. They are. They're absolute scumbags.
Yeah. And no, he refused.
You know what I mean?
If you got the evidence, you could have definitely refused. He's done the wrong day. If you got evidence of that,
that's not his fault at all.
Absolutely, if it comes on the wrong day,
what's going on there?
If you've made an arrangement of it to become, and you've got text messages or emails, yeah, that's a trace in it. So you know what I mean.
You can raise the case. When you raise the case, you can put photos on it, so you can upload that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think what you were saying, Paul, just go for the business one and just offer to pay that little bit extra.
So what happens?
And that's by your insurance.
Yeah. So if you see some people advertise, they'll say payment by friends or family.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Or you have to pay the fees. I usually have a conversation with them first because it's a bit out of order. It's a business transaction, and you want me to pay the transaction fees. But if I'm not fussed about the item, I refuse. If I am fussed about it, then I pay the extra because it's like 20% and then 0.3% or something like that, which is a bit frustrating. But the protection you get with it, because
insurance,
you're getting full cover or zero cover. Thanks for that. Right. We are out of time, aren't we?
Oh.
Okay, that's gone quick.
Yeah, it has.
There you go, Doncaster. so just a question. Someone was asking Nick around where the store is going to be, and he's put Doncaster. Coles coming in a few.
Oh, exciting!
Doncaster.
Yeah.
Is that far from me? I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
Is it far from me? That
it's about 80 miles from you, Stu. Yeah.
80.
60 miles. It's South Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah,
other side of Sheffield.
Yeah,
it's like a Blackpool trip. Then it's not far.
No, it's further than that.
53 miles to Blackpool from my house.
Right. So we will finish on that geography. Thank you very much for everyone who's joined.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
A lovely Friday night when you could be doing tons of other stuff.
Thanks,
rather than talking about on the buses amongst other things. But thank you very much.
Any news on when Ross is coming back? Do we know?
Yeah, there was a comment. So, we'll send regards to Ross. I think he's coming back soon, but I haven't got a confirmed date yet. But I'm hoping, certainly in the month for, where are we now? Maybe by about mid-August, something like that. So I would say in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe soon, I don't know.
Yeah, good.
But it'd be great to have the 4 of us back on.
It will.
Yeah. It will be great.
Right.
And keep your tanks safe, guys, over the next week. Hopefully we all come back with good news next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Cheers, all.
Fingers crossed.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.